Today is September 1st, 2020, and this is part 9 of our study of the ministry of Jesus. Well, yesterday we looked at Jesus as he began to gather disciples that followed him for the next 3 or 3.5 years. And so today we're going to look at the beginning of Jesus' miracles that he did. So we're going to do some reading today. So in the book of John, chapter 2, it says, "And the third day there was a marriage in Cana of Galilee." Now, a marriage, remember we studied about marriages a long time ago. A groom would go collect his bride and bring her to his home that he had prepared for them. Maybe his father's home that had prepared a place for them to live. And then they put on a wedding feast that lasted some time for a week or more. So it was not just a one meal, but it was a feast that lasted for days. And this one took place in Cana in Galilee. Cana, we think, was about 3 miles northwest of Nazareth. So that was close enough for Jesus to know them. Now it says that the mother of Jesus was there, Mary was there. Why was she invited? Well, obviously, either these were good friends of hers or maybe some relatives of hers. I don't know. But she was there for this wedding. And it says, and both Jesus was called and his disciples to the marriage. So Jesus was called also. Now the disciples here, at this time, Jesus didn't have that huge following because his miracles had not begun yet. So I assume that this was Peter and his brother Andrew, and James, his brother John, and Philip and Nathaniel that we read about. These 6 were there. Those were his disciples at that time. So they come to the marriage feast. And verse 3 says, and when they wanted wine, so that brings up another question. The wine in Jesus' day was a lot different than it is today. Today it's manufactured so that every bottle is exactly like every other bottle. Alcohol content is always the same. In Jesus' day, they took grape juice from the grapes, and put it in a new wine skin, a bottle made out of the skin of an animal, and left it there, and it fermented and turned into wine. But there was no way to exactly control how it would be. So some wine was better than other wines, better in taste, that is. And I assume it was a lot lower in alcohol content than what we have today. Now, the great Jewish historian Edersheim said that even at the Passover, they drank wine mixed with water. Now, wedding feast was not a drunken brawl of any kind, so I assume either this wine was either very low alcohol content or it had been mixed with wine because they were there drinking for several days but not getting drunk during that time. That would have ruined the whole wedding feast. Okay, they wanted wine. The mother of Jesus said unto him, they have no wine. So she comes to Jesus, Mary comes to Jesus and said, they're out of wine. Jesus saith unto her, woman. Interesting, he does not call her mother, he calls her woman. What have I to do with thee? Mine hour is not yet come. Now, I think he's saying here, what do you want me to do about it? And this is a kind of a mild rebuke. He said it's not time yet. I'm not sure what he meant by that. Time for him to begin his ministry, time for the miracle, time to make wine, I don't know. And I'm not sure what Mary expected him to do. Whether she expected him to go buy some or I just don't know. Now remember, at this time we believe Joseph was dead, so Jesus was the head of the household, being the oldest child. So she came to him and asked him to do something about it. All right, verse 5. His mother saith unto the servants, whatsoever he saith unto you, do it. Now, she said to the servants, whatever Jesus said, I want you to do that. Do it. Do whatever he says. That's still good advice for us today. Whatever Jesus said to do, you ought to do it. He tells you in the Bible what you ought to do, you ought to do it. Well, I thought we'd get through, but we're not. We'll have to finish up on this first miracle of Jesus, the wedding at Cana. And we will finish this up tomorrow, the Lord willing. Until then, I hope you have a fantastic day today.